Hello guys. Hello guys. Hello guys. Good day. So, this morning I will be discussing about very important topic. Now, the topic will be admission now and then. So, follow me closely as we discuss about admission now and then. So firstly, admission then was very easy that anyone can access, but now because of the dollar rate, everything have skyrocketed or increased. So now admission now, let's start with admission now. Admission now is not very easy as it looks. Take for example, if you want to apply for admission now, the exchange rate is very high that if you want to convert maybe $1, you're expecting to get at least 1.6 or 1.7. And if you are comparing €1, you are getting 1.8 to 1.9. So follow me carefully. Now, these have drastically affect what admission used to be then and what it used to be now. What do I mean? For example, for a student who wish to study in any school, for example in Europe here, if your tuition fee before is 2.5 to 3.5. Now, what are you going to budget? Your budget should be around 5 million to 7 million. But comparing when I traveled, the exchange rate was around 600, which if you are studying, maybe your tuition fee is 3,000 euros. You are paying just 1.8 or 1.6 million then. Now, these have really affected what admission used to be. So, let's do a rough estimate about what admission is now. So, for students who plans to study now in most European university, I will be using Lithuania where I am, and Poland, even Estonia or Latvia. The student should be, for example, the tuition fee ranges from 2,500 to 3,500 euro for BS student, for bachelor student. And if you want to talk about for mastering students should budget around 3,500 to up to 5,200 or 300 euros. Yeah. So we'll be using bachelor students for example. So now, as a student, we'll be making the flat tuition fee to 3,000. For a student who want to study business administration, so now the business administration is around 3,000. Let's using 3,000 as the base of the admission. Now you are paying 3,000 for the admission. So 3,000 in Nigeria now is up to 6 million. So for students who do not have the VSF centers or embassies in their home country, what you will be doing is you have to travel to the respective locations where these embassies are to capture, to do your thumbprint, and to submit your documents. Yes. So now, for students who we are using, for example, who their tuition fee is 6 million. If you are not going to submit your document in your home country, maybe you are traveling to South Africa, you are traveling to Albania, you are traveling to Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, or Dubai. Now, you will be budgeting for this travel. The travel itinerary for this travel, you should budget at least 1.5 million. You should budget 1.5 million. And there, you will be needing a hotel for you to lodge, which you have to budget maybe around 200 to 300k, because you will be spending at least 4 to 5 weeks pending the approval of your study permit. So now, if you have gotten this, we are now, the expenses is running at 8 million. Now, when you get there, you have to do other things. You have your period preparation, which you are getting an insurance, you are doing your statement of account. The statement of account, if you are coming to Lithuania, basically is around 6,500 euro to 7,000. So, but this money will be converted in naira. So you'll be printing this statement of account in our local currency, which is naira, that you will be needing to submit at the VSF Center, either in South Africa, in Albania, in Uzbekistan, or Kazakhstan, or Dubai, as the case may be. So now, the rough estimate for you to budget, if you are coming to Lithuania, you should budget at least 10 million naira. You have to budget at least 10 million naira. So that is what admission used to be now. Your tuition fee 6 million, your travel itineraries, your hotel and your food, you have to budget at least 2.5 million. And you still need some travel fund, at least 1.5 million. You need this money to have it at hand to enable you do some other expenses if necessary. So now, for admission now, we have a rough estimate of 10 million. But let's take you down to admission then. You know, when I came to Lithuania, one of the Baltic country or state, it was pretty easy, you know, like 6-7 years ago. It was pretty easy in the sense that the tuition fee were easy, and the exchange rate was very, very lesser. I could remember then when I did my admission in Venice University, the tuition fee then was I think around 2005, and the exchange rate was around 600 or 650. And then we used to do what we call Form A. Form A is like a document that anytime you want to pay tuition fee in abroad, you have to use this Form A in any bank of yours, maybe First Bank, UBA, EcoBank, and the likes of them. You have to use this Form A to fill in the details of the school you want to pay this tuition fee to, and these banks will transfer this fund in the local currency of the country you are going. Take, for instance, you are coming to Europe, they will be transferring this fund to Europe. But because of the new government policies, the way things are going now, there is nothing like Form A again. So now, it's more or less you are going to the bank to buy the same. You are going to the bank to buy the same price which the black market sells. So now, if black market or the bank are selling at the rate of 19 or 1950, this is definitely what we are buying. But admission then is if you want to buy, if the black market are selling for the rate of 650, the bank is giving you at the rate of what? 600 or 570. So that is the typical situation of admission then. Now, during my own time, 6-7 years back, I applied for the school, which is Venus University. So after I have gotten the admission, they requested for my transcript, which I forwarded the transcript through IMT Enugu. So on getting my transcript, they gave me conditional admission. What conditional admission means is that you have to fulfill some basic things. There is something you have to fulfill before the main admission letter will be given to you. So now in the conditional admission, I was able to pay the tuition fee, and the tuition fee then was around 1.2 million because it's like 2,500 euro. Yes, 2,500 euro. It was around 1.2 million. After paying, now they gave me acceptance letter. So now with the acceptance letter, as you remember, the price I've already paid is 1.2 million. The price is 1.2 million that I have already paid. Now, when I got my acceptance letter, what I do next is they told me that that because there is no VSF center in my home country, and Lithuania does not have any embassy in my home country, I needed to go to the nearest Lithuanian immigration office, which then they were using Egypt. They were using Egypt. So now I have to do some very quick application to travel to the Egypt. And then everything, the cost was very good, very minimal. There is no much hassles in terms of getting the visa to travel to Egypt. But now everything have changed. So then I managed to package my visa. It's like it's a tourist visa. I packaged with my acceptance letter. I booked an appointment in a Lithuanian embassy in Egypt. I booked my appointment letter with my statement of account. My brother was the sole sponsor of my travel, so I used his statement of account, the sponsorship letter, and the likes of them. So after submitting my visa application at the Embassy of Egypt at Abuja, I secured a visa to travel to Egypt to go and submit my documents in Lithuanian embassy. Now, this payment, then the visa, I don't think is up to 100,000. Then I can't remember clearly how much I paid. Now, this added to the 1.2 million I have spent is 1.3 million. Let's say that during my documentation period, the extra money I spent for documentation, let's give it 200,000, which I know is not up to, but we are adding it for the sake of formality, so making it 1.5. Now I have to book my ticket to Egypt, and the ticket then was around the 180,000 to and fro, going to Cairo, Egypt, and coming back. Now I paid 180, making it 1.7 million. So now, after paying this money, I secured my visa, I booked my ticket and traveled to Egypt. And when I got to Egypt, I booked a hotel that I booked a hotel for 4 to 5 weeks, which I didn't spend more than $100 in the hotel. I didn't spend more than $100 in the hotel. Then everything is then. So now, after I must have arrived in Egypt, I paid for the admission. I paid for the hotel. If I remember clearly, the name of the hotel in Egypt is Venus Hoskowaya Hotel. Venus Hoskowaya Hotel. Venus or Venice Hoskowaya Hotel is like a hotel owned by an Egyptian Japanese woman. So after everything that I have spent, even at this stage, is not up to 2 million. Now, after doing my thorough submission at the Lithuanian embassy in Cairo, Egypt, after extra 2 to 3 weeks, my visa then was visa. It was approved. So I got my visa, then waited for my return ticket, and I traveled back. So after traveling back, I now book another flight because my entry time is 2 months away. So I can't travel from Egypt. But I remember most of my friends that came after me, they still traveled from Egypt down to Lithuania straight without going back to Nigeria. But in my own situation, it was different because I still have extra 2 months gap, so which warranted me to travel from Egypt back to Nigeria and Nigeria back to Lithuania for the study. I think I came here 22 August 2018. Yes, I came 22 August 2018. So now, if you followed my illustration now and then, it's very simple. Now, for you to plan for admission, the cheapest you should plan or you should be holding, the money, the capital you should be holding should be amount up to 10 million naira. But then it was not even up to 2.5 million. I know then even getting the money was difficult because I understand the whole process, because I was involved in the process. I was the one doing everything, running around for the admission. I was typically involved in the process. So now, then it was below 2.5 million. But now, you should have at least 10 million for you to plan to study either in Lithuania, either in Poland, either in Latvia, either in Estonia. So in some countries, they don't need you to pay tuition fee. They need you to do what we call block account. And in every situation, some block accounts amounting from 13,000 euro, which is closely 25 million. For you to deposit in advance before they will issue you a visa, which I know that most people don't have. The reason why everybody is scanning for the possible means is because the money is not really easy to get and it's hard to get. So everybody is struggling to use the best means, and for them to use the smallest or the minimal capital they have at hand to secure what they are looking for. Now, if admission now and then did not favor you, what will you have to do now? That's the question. What will you do if admission now and then don't favor you? So what you have to do is the essence of following people that knows what and how to secure scholarships in abroad, both in the US, both in the UK, both in Australia, in Canada, in New Zealand, any part of the world. You have to follow these people because they always give updates of the new scholarship hint. What do you have to do if you don't have money but you still have dreams to study abroad? What you have to do is to follow these key people that always drop updates for scholarships in abroad, and after you must have followed them, any update which they release about scholarships in abroad, what you do next is you have to what you do next is you have to gather what we call the requirement. Most international scholarship have what we call requirement, and I can list like the few requirements, which is your certificate if you're applying for masters, your WAEC or your high school diploma if you are applying for bachelor's. Now you have what we call transcript. If you're going for masters, you should have your transcript by now. Again, in some schools, we have what we call GMAT and GRE. This is like a test score you need for them to test your intelligence quotient, for them to really know how do this person reason. Is this person intelligent? Is this person smart? For them to take up this education rigorous work. So that is the thing. They need you to write this exam. But in most cases, some of these schools, you might apply and it will be waived for you. And in some cases, it might not be waived. And that is one of the basic requirements for scholarship. And we have what we call English test. For us coming from Nigeria and most African countries, you don't need this test score. You don't need this test score, English test score rather. So now we don't need English test score. So what again do you need? There is what we call scholarship essay. There is what we call scholarship essay. You have to write essay. You have to write your intentions, your decision, what you are going to achieve. If you want to be the winner of this scholarship, you must write something. You must write your SOP. You must write your motivational letters. You must write in some cases they might require you to write like a plan. You have to give your detailed plan why this scholarship should be given to you. And again, they might request you to give them 2 recommendations. It might be your colleagues at your working place. It might be your lecturers where you studied before. It might be like your business colleagues, your business counterpart that can vouch for you that you have good conduct, you have good behavior. In the case you are taking up this scholarship, that will be in the best of your knowledge. So again, they might have what we call specific admission requirement. So in this specific admission requirement, you might be required to do so many things. It might be pending down from academics, some physical things, some video interviews, some exams and everything. So if you don't have this huge money to pay for your tuition fee, you don't have this money to pay for studies abroad, I think scholarship is your best option. Scholarship is your best option. So why do I say scholarship is your best option? Because if you can get this requirement, because getting this requirement is not even easy. Writing GMAT or GRE, sometimes it takes from 200,000 to 300,000. Getting a good recommendation from your lecturers or from your workplace might not be really easy. So you need to work hard to get this update from people that are always giving this update for you to know when you should apply for this scholarship. So if you have gotten the hint, you try to do the requirement, apply and follow the deadline. Most scholarships have deadline. So some scholarship, they might say, if you are coming for summer 2025, October is the deadline. October 20, 12 a.m. is the deadline. So make sure you follow the deadline. Don't do as if you are doing things your own way. No, you always have to follow scholarship admission deadline. So now, have you really seen the difference between admission now and then? Then 7 years ago, it was around 2,500, 2.5 million, 2 million, 3 million to travel. But now, you have to budget 9, 10, 11, 12 million for you to travel. But the only way out is for you to do what? To secure a scholarship. Now, there are several scholarship ranges in every part of the world. Europe have thousands of scholarship. In US, you can get scholarship from 25,000 to 30,000 to 40,000 to 50 to 60,000. This admission can be for 1 year MBA program. It can be for 2 years master's program. It can be for the entire PhD program. It can be for the entire mastering bachelor's program. What you have to do is to make sure you always follow the update of scholarship. Make sure you get the requirements needed. Make sure you apply on time. Make sure you if, for example, in a particular department, maybe you are interested in studying business analytics, you can go to the particular department for this business analytics. You try to follow them up. If they have what we call like some student group, some faculty group, maybe you can connect with them on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on university group, and the likes of them. Try to connect with these people. The essence of connecting with them is they will be giving you updates. They will be sharing tips on how to write best essay, tips on how to pass your GMAT, your GRE, tips on how to get the mind of this lecturer to approve your scholarship. Because one thing about this scholarship is there are a lot of students who want to study like you, but they don't have money. So now they rely greatly in this scholarship for them to scale through. So take, for instance, a scholarship for business analytics. They needed just 3 students, but the people that are applying is over 500. So what do? They have to scrutinize these 500 students. They can start by checking their curriculum vitae. They can start by checking their transcript to see their past academic record. They can start by checking the extra training which these students have gotten in the past. They can start by checking their professional background, if they have worked in a particular place, and what have they contributed to this organization they have worked for, and if they have solved a particular problem, how and what way they have solved this problem. Though they can tender all their tentacles to make sure that they find a means of selecting these 3 students out of 500. So which means it's not really a simple task. It's always a difficult task for the scholarship committee or the admission committee to select the best among equals, because all students have their own where they are good or where they are best at. But this group will make sure that they are not biased, that they will keen down to select the best 3 among these 500 students that applied for scholarship. So which means for you as an applicant, you have to work hard, not just having the necessary requirements, but you have to put yourself into test. You have to be smart. You have to make research via YouTube, via online, and listen to people who have succeeded in the past, people who have applied for this scholarship and they succeeded in the past. So it's not an easy task. And again, a scholarship is not what someone can help you get. I know, like, some people will feel like, yes, I will pay somebody to get scholarship for me. No, it does not work that way. Someone might secure admission for you. For example, even in the US, even in Canada, someone might secure admission for you, and the person will go ahead and secure what we call student loan. Student loan is just like a loan which you pay after studying. For example, you are a student studying in Canada. For example, you're a student studying in Canada, and your program is 2 years program, but you want to study. What do you do now? What do you do? Then, if you have gotten admission and arrived in the country, and you feel that the amount of money which you have might not be enough for you to study, what do? You apply for student loan. Now, with your acceptance letter, with some documents of the school, the people in charge of this student loan will approve your loan. They might decide to pay the 2 years program immediately. They might decide to pay for the 2 years program immediately, and they might decide to pay 1 year and another 1 year, because sometimes they would want to see if the reason for giving you this loan is achieved. Maybe you are a student, they need to sometimes see your performance to know that you are really doing well for them to do what? Approve this loan. So that is what agents can help you secure. They can help you secure admission and apply for student loan. That is what it is. But coming to scholarship is what we call do it yourself. You have to do it yourself. It's not like scholarship is different from securing student loan. So this is doing it yourself. You have to find an admission. You have to bring this requirement. If there are necessary tests, if there are necessary interviews, if there are necessary essays, SOPs for you to do in order for you to secure this admission or secure this scholarship rather, you have to do it. Is do it yourself. Because, for example, I can't see any agent helping you to do interview. I can't see any agent helping you to write GMAT for you to get scholarship. It's not being done. It has not been done anywhere, and it will happen now. So scholarship is the real big thing for you to secure admission if you don't have money to study. So it's very, very important. So today we have achieved 3 different things. What did we achieve? Firstly, we achieved admission now, which we have understand ourselves that admission now, you have to budget at least 10 million for you to secure and travel to Europe to study. Again, admission then, you need just 2 million to 2.5 million for you to travel. When I mean then, I'm talking about 6-7 years ago, when euro is around 600, 650, when dollar was around 450, 500. So now everything has done what? Has drastically changed. So admission now is 10 million. Admission then is 2.5 million. Now we have successfully decoded that the best way to travel is for you to secure a scholarship. And this scholarship involves what we call a rigorous process. It's not always straight because there are a lot of things to do. Bringing recommendation, applying, paying application fee if it's not waived, the test score which are involved, GMAT, GRE, English if it's involved or not involved, and the interviews, some video interviews, your SOP, some mental tests, everything. Scholarship really involves a lot of things. So if you watch this video very well, you will understand with me that we have dealt with the 3 important factor when you are considering studying abroad. Admission now, admission then, and why we need scholarship to study abroad. Scholarship is the best way, but one of the most toughest way. I have seen some people's story saying that they have been applying for admission for more than 2, 3 years, 4 years. But finally, God did it. That after applying to over 50 scholarships, they secure full funding for one. And one thing about this scholarship is when you're applying for this scholarship, it's always difficult. It's always you are not really always happy doing it, because there might be lots of rejection. And when you are receiving this rejection, you are working harder, you are working better, and you are learning how to do it more better. So there are a lot of rejection in terms of scholarship. But any day you receive, congratulations, you have been offered full-time scholarship to study management, to study business analytics, to study nursing in the university of this, that we are giving you 24 hours, 48 hours to accept this offer for us to progress to the next level. And one good thing about scholarship and full funding is when you have scholarship or full funding, most times your visa is almost 75% guaranteed, because the hassles of payment of tuition fee, the organization, the school have taken care of it. But in a situation where the hassles of paying tuition fee is to be paid by you, in sometimes your visa is 50-50. Why is this 50-50? Because sometimes they know these students might not concentrate well enough, because he or she have to work while study to pay this tuition fee. So when you are getting a scholarship, most times your visa application is smooth. Most times your visa is almost guaranteed. But when you are applying, when you are paying by yourself, or you are being sponsored by your parents, or you are being sponsored by your guardian, by your siblings, or whatever, your visa is guaranteed at 50%. So, for students who wish to study now, you must have learned today that if you are coming to Europe, you have to budget this 10 million, for example. And again, if you are going to Canada, the tuition fee to study in Canada for 1 year is between 15 to 18,000 per year. So when you translate to Naira, you should have gotten what it's the price equivalent it is in Naira. And in Canada, you need living expenses 10 to 12,000 for 1 year. You need your tuition fee 1 year, 15 to 18,000 Canadian dollars. What else? Then if you are going with your kids, with your wife, you need to add extra 3,000. Then for US, if you're going to study, tuition fees in the US ranges from 30, 35, 40, 45,000, depending on the institution or the school. So all countries have their own pattern of tuition fee. All countries have their own funding. All countries have the rules, the requirements for you to secure this admission. So if you listen to my explanation about admission now and then, you should have learned a lot from this session. And if you do, please try to like, share, and recommend to a friend to listen. See you on the next one. I am the man Powerful TV. See you on the next one. See you on the next one. See you on the next one. Bye. Bye.